Hey there, this is Beth Parrish with Inspired Riding. I'm a remote coach and certified riding instructor, and I'm also an animal communicator. In this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about what your horse wants you to know. I created a list last year that actually got a lot of traction on social media. I put it into a meme, and it's just a list of 10 things. I'm going to read them off to you, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more about how I connect with horses and can get more specific messages. So here's a list I created, what your horse wants you to know. Number 1, please take your time and slow down whenever possible. Number 2, I can teach you all sorts of things if you're willing to listen. Number 3, your attention means more than you realize. Number 4, remember to be silly once in a while. I love it when you laugh. Number 5, it's helpful if you get quiet and listen with your heart. Number 6, I like being able to have horse friends. Please don't lock me up away from them. Number 7, don't be too hard on yourself. I know you love me. Number 8, I like consistency, but it's also fun to change up our exercise routines. Number 9, be clear about what you would like from me, and I will do my best. Number 10, you are much more magnificent than you give yourself credit. So for those 10 things, I'm sure you've encountered some horses that make you feel more present and grounded and happy. But I'm sure there are other horses that you've encountered that have actually given you a lot of angst or anxiety or fear. And that's where I can step in and help you get to the bottom of what your horse is really thinking. As an animal communicator, I've been honored to have chats with horses and other animals, and they're all just as unique as people. So how does this work? Well, my way of connecting starts with grounding. Grounding is a way to be sure I'm feeling connected to my body and the earth. I like to breathe deeply and feel my sit bones in the chair, wiggle my toes around, and feel my feet being supported by the ground. I then do a scan of my body to be sure I'm fully aware of everything that's going on, and I try to release any tension in my body. This is really useful, so when I'm connecting with my own body in the beginning, before I even connect with an animal, I'm fully aware of what's going on in my body. So if I get a sense while I'm chatting with an animal that like my right neck is feeling extra tight or sore, I'm thinking, okay, this has something to do with the animal, and then I ask them more about it. So when I've taken the time to get really grounded and aware, I then bring my attention to my heart center and breathe into my heart. I then imagine it expanding as I look at a photo of the animal I'm about to connect with. I imagine their hearts expanding and then both of our hearts connecting. I then ask if they're willing to chat with me on behalf of their owners. Most of them do enjoy the interaction, while others find it a bit strange. I must honor how they feel, and I certainly tell the owner about everything that transpires in our conversations. The owners will send me specific questions ahead of time, and I'll ask the animals and write down their insights. I have a gift of automatic writing, so I'll be able to write out the voice of the animal, along with writing down any feelings I receive from them during the session. Oftentimes I'll end up shedding tears, as many of the connections are very profound. The horses really want to tell their owners just how wonderful they think they are, and that they know how hard their owners are working to keep them happy. The specific insights that come up include how their bodies are feeling, what sort of things they enjoy doing, and how they would prefer things to be going in their lives. One insight I'd love to share was from a little donkey, and he was actually a little bit naughty when he was not around his owner. So when his owner's friends would come and maybe feed him, he would actually try to mount them a little bit. So she never saw him do it, but he was really clever about doing these things when she wasn't around. So when I tuned into him, the first thing he told me, "I'm the king of the world." And it just made me laugh. I was like, wow, I was not expecting that. And he viewed his owner as the queen, and he really, really respected her and thought she was amazing. And he basically told me when I asked him if he would please stop mounting other humans, he said he needed everyone to feel more grounded, and he really did not like any sort of wishy-washy energy. So he suggested that everyone around him can pretend they're knights in armor, and that they're feeling very secure and very grounded and stronger around him. And then that will make him feel more relaxed, and then he won't feel the need to mount them. So that was pretty profound. I need to check in with her again to see how it's going. But to get that specific information, these are things I never would have thought of or made up myself. So to that aspect, I think it's pretty amazing what they tell me and what I can share with their owners. So I've also chatted with animals that have crossed over, and their perspective from that expansiveness is absolutely incredible. And one of the main things they tell us is they want to remind their owners that they can tune into their energy at any time that they like. So for me, just yesterday is the Yahrzeit, the day that my horse passed away, and that was 5 years ago, and he was my heart horse. So I make sure I tune into him and feel his energy, and I really don't feel like he's ever left. Like, he has his fun in his energetic space, and then I feel like he can just kind of nudge me on the shoulder whenever he wants to. And I find that very comforting, especially when it's time for me to cross over and I can meet up with him. And then I also help owners when they're trying to make the decision for their animal to cross over. I really believe that they have a soul contract, and they're fully aware of when it's up and when it's not quite. And they will tell me what they need from their owners. It might be more comfort, extra blankets, certain types of food, or they might say, when I get to this point where I can't stand up anymore, I'd really love help to cross over to the Rainbow Bridge. So I think that is one of the most profound and important parts of my job, connecting with these animals, and it gives the owner so much more comfort. And then I just feel so blessed that I can help the animals as well. So there you go. That's just a little bit of what happens in my world when I connect with animals. It's certainly something that I think everyone's capable of. So if you just follow that process that I mentioned and just practice, and then maybe have other people tune into the same animal and ask simple questions like, what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite food? Things like that. And see if you can compare answers, and that'll help you with confirmation. So I hope that helped, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you ever would like to get a reading done, you can find me on my website, inspiredriding.com, or you can find me on facebook.com/inspiredriding. Thanks for listening, and may the horse be with you, always.